Hi everyone, and welcome back to Graduate Career Launchpad. I'm Simon Gibson, the Graduate Recruitment Director at Prospal. Today we have the unique pleasure of hosting a representative from the Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet, one of Australia's most prestigious employers. So a bit about PM&C. So PM&C sits at the heart of the Australian government, providing high-quality policy advice and coordination to the Prime Minister, the Cabinet, portfolio ministers, assistant ministers. It's where the nation's biggest priorities come together, from national security and international relations to economic policy, social reform, you name it. With responsibilities spanning many areas, PM&C offers grads extraordinary job opportunities. And we'll jump into this in just a second. So I think we're going to explore what makes PM&C an exceptional place to start your public service career, what they look for in candidates, how the competitive recruitment process works, and some tips to get through that, and some practical advice for some of our hiring graduates. So joining me today is the lovely Chloe, who's an advisor in the PM&C's entry-level programs team. Chloe, thank you very much for coming along today and for giving us your time and sharing your insights.
Hi, Simon.
Yeah, thank you. First question for me, just love to learn a bit about your role and what you do at PM&C, and I guess, what attracted you to working in the graduate recruitment or early career space.
Yeah, so thanks for that, Simon. So yeah, I am one of the advisors in the entry levels programs team here at PM&C, or Prime Minister and Cabinet, or PM&C for short. What I look after is we'll look after all of our beautiful graduate cohorts, spanning across our current grads, our future grads, as well as our past grads. One of my major roles is looking after the recruitment of our next round of graduates. And yeah, so something that really stood out to me at PM&C is the culture that we have here. It's just a lovely, people-focused, friendly culture. And yeah, it's been lovely. I've been here about 2 years so far, and going really well. So.
Okay, excellent. And look, aside from the culture, if I was a graduate or, someone during university and I'm looking at careers down the road, what would you say, what sets your department apart?
Definitely. So here at PM&C, we, as Simon said, we're at the heart of the government. So essentially we have our hands in all of the pies, as some people like to say. PM&C is responsible for being the center of government and focusing on all of our priorities. So we are really interested whether your degree is in international relations, law, health, even nursing. It's got some places that are available potentially for yourselves. So PM&C also accepts graduates up to 8 years past their graduation date. So this makes our program really quite unique, but also a great opportunity for those that are looking for a career move but aren't directly straight out of university.
Yeah, fantastic. So that's really broad. I know most companies I talk to, they might have someone who's graduated within 12 or 18 months. That's kind of that cutoff window. So any type of degree and a really good span from when you finish to sort of coming in. That's brilliant. Yeah. Well, you mentioned a little about some of the types of degrees that people might come from. Which graduate career paths were available if I was looking at it?
Yeah, so at PM&C, as I've said, we're not just looking for policy or economic graduates. We're really looking to employ a multidisciplinary cohort. So that's any sort of field that you've studied. So we offer career paths into international relations, cyber security, national security, humanitarians, arts and social sciences, marketing, comms, economics, commerce, finance and accounting, data and STEM, and also law. And there are probably a few others that I've missed as well.
Yeah. But again, that's a really good spread, really good range of different career paths that are available and can open to students from any sort of background. That's brilliant. So I'd imagine, given that, it is open to all students, you get some really high quality candidates and probably in abundance as well. What do you look for in a candidate?
Yeah, no, definitely. So at PM&C, we're not looking for one specific type of candidate. We really do look for that wide range of people. We want these people to show up as curious, driven, open to working on emerging challenges, adapting the and adapting to the evolving government priorities. So we have graduates who value the importance of teamwork, camaraderie, mutual support among colleagues and management, sharing a commitment to fostering transparent communication and inclusivity, where everyone's voice is heard and valued. So PM&C celebrates our vibrant and multicultural population, which is the Australian community, and are committed to ensuring that our workplace reflects this diversity. Therefore, we really do encourage applications from people of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander descents, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, intersex, and queer people, people with from cold diversities, carers, neutral age people, mature age people, and people living with disability. So as part of PM&C's ongoing commitment, the department runs several affirmative measures recruitment processes annually, and this includes our affirmative measures Indigenous and affirmative measures disability rounds, which are part of our graduate cohort.
Okay, so again, and I'll probably keep going back to the same thing, but it is just a really big open program for all walks of people from all walks of backgrounds and all walks of life. It's probably what makes the culture so good, having so much diversity in the workplace.
Definitely does, yeah.
Right. Well, so we've spoken a bit about, again, sort of the types of degrees and what you look for in individuals. Can you, and again, I'm sort of pitching this as I was a student, watching this and what I might expect to go through next. Can you walk us through the application assessment process, please?
Of course, yeah. So our applications are open from early March until mid-April. The application consists of an online application form, which we will require a copy of your resume and any academic transcripts that you've got, which will need to be uploaded into the recruitment system. So to be invited to the first phase of our assessment centre, you'll need to be eligible. And this will include having completed the minimum of a 3-year undergraduate bachelor degree with a credit average, and this is within the last 8 years. Being able to obtain at least a baseline security clearance through AGSPA, be an Australian citizen, and of course being able to relocate to Canberra. The first phase of the assessment is an online cognitive, a behavioural, and a job-focused assessment. Then the second and the final phase of our assessment is what we call our virtual assessment centre. So this includes a written task, an interview, and a group activity. Following this, we usually conduct referee checks around July, and then offers are usually made in August.
Okay, right. So a bit of a recap. So applications are opening over March, April. I'm applying with my resume transcript. I need a credit average to get in there. In terms of that baseline level national security clearance, do I need that when I apply? Or if I'm successful, just need something that I'll go through once I've been offered?
Yes, that's something that PM&C take care of for you, and we'll step you through the process.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Right. Fantastic. I'll do some online testing, and I'll do an online assessment centre, and then if reference checks later on. So it's probably a slightly longer process in terms of the timing, but still follows fairly standard process of all the early careers programs out there. So again, from a student's point of view, really good to know. And thanks for taking those through those steps there. And we spoke about, you're probably getting really good application numbers because it is such a sought after program. And again, you're open to a wide range of individuals. What are some tips that might help someone during the assessment process?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so there's lots of tips that I can give, but sort of my top tips are, especially for our virtual assessment, so you can use practice tests. So these are readily available online. Simply, you can kind of jump on Google and just Google cognitive tests, behavioural tests, job-focused sort of practice tests. These are all pretty much the same. They're different, formats and things, but they are very much the same and use the same sort of functions. Leave yourself enough time to complete all the parts of the process. So there is quite a, you'll be given a bit of a chunk of time. Please don't leave it to the last minute. It doesn't really help yourself. It doesn't help us if we need to help you. And we just see that people that do leave it to the last minute usually don't get the best results. So yeah, if you're definitely chunk out some time to get the steps done early. And then so during the actual assessment center itself, make sure you're doing it in a nice quiet area. So you'll be provided with the interview questions about 10 to 15 minutes earlier than the interview. I really want you to make sure that, you're having the chance to actually read through, take the questions in, provide yourself, a little bit of time to write a little comment, put some notes on your paper or whatever it might be. And we really, really would love everyone to attempt to use the STAR method. The other thing, so we be authentic. We really want to see your authentic self. Be comfortable, be relaxed. This is really what we're wanting to see. Think of it more as a two-way conversation rather than an actual formal interview.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And then sort of my last tip for success is use some examples from outside of university. So there's a common misconception that we really just want to hear about your examples from uni and the experience you've got from that, but that's not the case at all. We really would love to hear about if you've got a casual job or you're a sports ref or something like that. We'd love to hear some experiences because this is also what makes you you and makes up the person that you are. And that's what we want to see through the process.
Got it. Fantastic. Chloe, can I ask with the online assessment, you sort of speak about leaving yourself enough time to complete those. Does that mean like if I'm sent a link to do it, I've got say 4 days in which to complete it, or is that open-ended?
Yes, yeah. So it will usually be you usually get a few days to be able to complete each of the parts of the assessment. The very first start you'll get about a week or so, couple of weeks, and then the actual virtual assessment center that'll all be done in sort of the same day. So, but as long as you're sort of doing it within the time frames, you should be fine.
Yeah, perfect. And for anybody, I mentioned that the STAR methodology for when you're answering some of those sort of behavioral style questions. If you're not familiar with that, it stands for situation, task, action, and result. What it is, it's a great way to just have a nice sort of clear, concise way of answering these questions. So setting the scene, you're talking about what you had to do, the actions you took during that situation or scenario, and the result is essentially what happened at the end. Jump on Google, check it out. There's lots of information on there. But again, if you haven't heard of the STAR acronym, that's what Chloe was referring to. Okay, brilliant. So again, we've spoken about the sort of types of degrees, the eligibility, what the recruitment process looks like. Fast forward, I've gone through that. I've been successful. I've got the job. Can you walk us through the onboarding process?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so usually within September through to December, this is when we do all of our onboarding and our sort of graduate career networking. Sorry. So this sort of includes, we've got a few virtual sessions that we host. This is sort of with the ELP team. We also have what's called a grad takeover. So this is where our current graduates will meet with our new incoming cohort, and they sort of just answer all the questions or give them a little tips and tricks, all of that sort of stuff. And then we also have an in-person get-together prior to commencement. We also do lots of things. But you'll also get matched with a buddy, which is from our previous cohort, and you'll be able to keep in the loop with our regular ELP newsletters, which includes some helpful hints, different, steps of the onboarding process, and just, things that you need to know at that period of time. In terms of
Good question. ELP, is that entry-level program?
Entry-level programs, that's exactly right.
Just wanted to double check. Yeah.
Sorry, Simon. Yes, APS. Public service is, we love our acronyms, yes.
Love an acronym? Yeah. It's not just you guys. Yeah, we do too.
So in terms of the onboarding, the admin side of things, it's all really streamlined. So it's pretty simple it's pretty simple as you completing some online forms. Our team will guide the successful graduates through submitting all their security clearance checks in every location type situations. And with PM&C, we actually offer, if our successful graduates aren't located in Canberra, as all of our graduate roles are located in Canberra, we do offer quite a generous relocation allowance. And this also includes a temporary relocation, like accommodation if needed, which is for spouses and kids as well, if you so happen to have them. Yes.
Okay, that's brilliant. That's a really in-depth overview and a very generous offer of the PM&C to help people get there and set up a new life.
Yeah.
Chloe, some really great insights there, some really great tips for people watching this in terms of how to, give themselves the best opportunity to go through this process. Like one thing that'd be really good for the grads to understand is, how do you describe a day in the life of a grad?
Yeah, so obviously I've never been a grad before, so I did recently ask one of our graduates this question.
Okay.
And their response, sorry, pretty much identified that our graduates know 2 days at the same. Whether they're preparing for the Prime Minister to be welcoming a guest, like an international guest of government, or whether they're working through some Senate estimates. It's always a bit different. So at PM&C, our grads utilise their varying degrees and skills to support all of our support the government of the day's priorities. So our graduates are given opportunities to rotate through business areas. And this includes working on various different projects of national significance, such as areas as national security, Office for Women, social policy, domestic policy. There's even a few of our graduates actually spending 3 months in Darwin up at the Northern Land Council, which is really exciting.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's a brilliant overview. I love that you've gone to a grad to get that sort of answer that question and find out what they do, what a day-to-day looks like. Chloe, thank you so much for sharing these insights into PM&C's graduate program, what it's like to work there, the heart of the Australian government. I really appreciate the transparency you brought. For our listeners, PM&C's graduate program offers an unparalleled opportunity to work on the nation's most pressing policies and priorities, gain visibility across the entire breadth of government, and be supported and challenged by some of Australia's most experienced public servants. If you're curious, check out PM&C profile on Prospel to learn more. That concludes our session of Graduate Career Launchpad. Stay tuned for upcoming episodes that will bring you inside views of other top Australian employers. Thanks everyone for listening, and best of luck with the applications. Chloe, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks for having me, Simon.